Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rachel's Super Cute Creations. And I hope everybody's having an amazing Thanksgiving. I decided to just jump on and play with some scraps. And I thought I would bring everybody along with me today. So I hope everybody's having a great day. And hope we're not going to have camera issues. I don't think we are. So, I'm not sure if any of you have these. Oh, there we go with camera issues. Let's see if we can fix that. Sorry, guys. I don't know how many of you have scrapbook pads, but often we get scrapbook pads and we end up with these 12 by 12 pieces that have um, words on them or something on there that's um, I don't know. I don't use these. I don't use these because I don't frame them. I think pretty much they're for framing, and it's not something that I typically use. So, hi, Luann. Yeah, I am feeling better. I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things. So, for those of you who don't know, I had walking pneumonia. So, I'm just getting back. So anyway, I have these on all of my paper pads. They're like the last pages, and I never seem to use them. But what they make is great master board or collage board bases. And then the other thing I have here is I have a teenager who loves to print lots of things and waste lots of pages. So those are things that I love to collage on. Luann, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. So this Thanksgiving was very odd for me because for those of you that have been watching, you know that I lost my mom last year, and so um, it was just very different. My dad was supposed to come, but he wasn't feeling well, so it was just my husband and I, and then my daughter ended up not feeling well, so stuffed to the gills. So my husband and I were just kind of by ourselves. um, she was kind of just relaxing and chilling out, and we ended up going to Bob Evans and having turkey dinner at Bob Evans, which was so strange to me. But I want to share a story. So, um, if you don't mind, I'm going to share a quick story about my mom. So, as she was dying last year, I asked her, I said, Mom, how am I going to know when you're around? And let's hopefully I can say this without getting emotional. And she said, "You'll know I'm here when you see a cardinal." And so we were like, "Oh, that's okay, you know." And so today, I talked to my dad. He was supposed to come down, and he wasn't able to come down because he wasn't feeling well. And so I was just really missing her. Thanksgiving was kind of her time and kind of what, you know, and so I was sitting on the couch by myself and I looked over. Actually, I was looking at my phone and just something told me to look out the window. So I looked out the window and there was a beautiful cardinal and it sat looking into our home for such a long time. Um, it was just really uh, interesting and something that I needed very much so today. So I don't know if any of you have ever experienced something like that, but um, it was very cool. Very cool. Luann, did you cook today? So I didn't do any cooking. I cannot believe it. I have not cooked. Um, did not cook at all, which was crazy. And but I hope everybody else had a great Thanksgiving. So I'm not using scissors. I'm only going to use cook tons just for hubby and me. Oh, well, that's good. So all I'm doing is just layering. And what I love to do, you guys, um, I haven't done it in such a long time because my life has been absolutely crazy in the last year. So with my mom just quickly taking a turn for the worst and passing away last year. And then we moved, and so my studio is a mess. Um, A lot of you know that we also owned a long arm quilting business, and we decided last month to sell our business because we just felt like we wanted to spend our energy and our time doing something else. And so that was a huge shift for us. All I'm doing, you guys, I have this gigantic bag of just scraps. And so that's what I want to do. I want to stash bust what I have. So that's what we're going to kind of do today. Luann, I'm actually still living in Midland. We just moved. We downsized. My daughter is a senior this year, and she's getting ready to go to college. And my husband and I have decided that it's time for us to downsize and start thinking about retirement. We're not quite ready to retire yet, but we thought, well, it's time to start thinking about retirement. And we had a ton of property, and we just decided we didn't want to do it anymore. So there's some things that we just don't want to do anymore. And so one is we really loved our quilting business, but it was taking summers. It's the busiest time of quilting is in the summer and also during the holidays. And so we just decided we didn't want to take that time anymore away from our life because life is too short to miss things. And so we decided to move. We moved about 7 miles from where we lived before, but I live closer to the expressway. I absolutely love it. We live close to town, and our property is like a third of what we had. And so we're super excited about that because now we can travel and we don't have to worry about our yard and all that stuff. So yeah, so super fun. So please, if you're jumping on, please say hello so we can chat. And Luann, we still have to get together sometime. Yeah. So I am just collaging on this page, and the reason why I'm collaging on here is look, it just makes a beautiful base for a lot of different things, and all I'm throwing away are the edges. So I'm just coming in and just tearing and using my ruler. Just tearing and using my ruler. Absolutely. Absolutely. So does anybody have any fun plans or anything fun that they're going to do soon? We're really kind of tossed. Christmas is coming, and I don't know how many of you make Christmas gifts. Does anybody make Christmas gifts? So I'm so far behind because my family is so spoiled because they all get handmade items and they get store-bought items, but like if I don't do my handmade items, they're always like, well, how come you didn't do it? So I have to get going because I have not done it. Here's a recipe. So the other thing is you can always just add a recipe too. Hi, Kathy. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for joining us. Just doing some crafting and chatting. We're just using up all those crazy scraps that we have. And I'm not using a ton of glue. The other thing you want to be careful of is, and I don't know, I want to show you. Always looking for a new project. Awesome. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but can you see the bows kind of coming through? So sometimes your paper is not dark enough or thick enough, and it'll come through. And that's perfectly fine because what I'm going to use this for, we're going to use some napkin pieces too. We're going to make some tags out of this. Or you can always just keep layering. So remember, you can just keep layering. Hi, Penny. How are you? So happy to see you. Finally finished my handmade gifts, 5 folios, a felt ABC book, design erase track, and a geology folio. Ooh, I would love to see that geology folio. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk. Um, I'd love if you'd send me some pictures of that, Luann, if you're able to do that. I'd love to see that. Yeah, so I'm just decided to jump on. Here is some foreign book page, and I love this one because whoever I keep saying a lady, but I don't know if it was a lady. Someone did some handwriting and annotating in French in the corners, and I love that. But all I'm doing is just creating this masterboard with just book pages, music pages. I'm keeping them all the same. Now you can create master boards with colored items too. So like if you have, I sometimes will do this if I have a bunch of leftover printables. If you're someone who uses a lot of printables, I don't use a lot, but I do use some. Um, and actually, I'm just going to put this on my desk. So I just have this cup here that I'm putting all these little pieces in. And I don't know why I'm reaching across. I'm going to end up with a backache. I keep reaching across. I might as well just put it on my desk. All right, so Kathy's made 2 quilts. Oh, she's a girl after my own heart. I love quilts. A couple of table runners and some single signature journals. Awesome. So, is anybody going to make anything for their crafty friends or their junk journal friends? So, one of the things that I love to make, I love to make scrappy books. Um, and what I do is I just take all of my scrappy papers and I'll make just these little tear books, which I love to use all the time. They're kind of like small inspiration books, I call them. I keep them on my desk. And when I just want to play, um, I'll use those. And what I'm doing, you guys, is I'm just kind of looking at the color of the paper. And so I put it up here and you can see there's not much of a difference. But if I put it here, you can really see the difference in the tones of the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep moving that around. So the other thing, everything that I do has to have a little bit of a handmade element. So I love to wrap presents. I love to do all of that stuff. So I've been thinking a lot about how can I use up my paper scraps in some handmade gifts. And one of the things I have a ton of, you guys, and I know you do too, are um, book page pieces, which is why I wanted to play with this. But we can totally make cool gifts out of that. And see, I keep itty bitties. This is what I call itty bitties. I don't throw anything away. I eventually get to the point where I'm like, okay, Rachel, it's time to throw some crap away. But I take my itty bitties and I was thinking if we make these master boards, why couldn't we make some, if you guys remember, I think it was last year I did it, or it might have been 2 years ago. I made some cute little snowmen that I put on the front of notebooks. Um, so I'm thinking about making some of those. Uh-oh, what happened here? And the other thing I was thinking of is why couldn't we make some really cool ornaments? Um, Ornaments would be super easy. Fingers are not working. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. I thought about making some really fun ornaments. And my thought was to take these master boards, grab some cookie cutters, or if you have some wood shapes of some sort. Oops, just slide that over a little. And trace them so that you could have fun little ornaments. So we might try to do some of those tonight when I get this masterboard done. And all I'm doing, you guys, is just covering up all of this scrapbook paper. You love making ornaments. Have you made any paper ornaments? Kathy, they're fun. And you know, the thing that I love, I'm a huge ornament person. Um, those of you who know me know that I'm an educator. I'm a principal, but I used to be a teacher. And one of my favorite all-time gifts that kids would give me is an ornament. And I still, to this day, I have not taught in how long has it been now? Almost 10 years. I've been a principal, but I still get ornaments as a gift from my students. But I love to put my ornaments on my tree, and I still to this day remember who the kids are for the most part. I wrote their names on the back, but it's just so fun. And I look back now, and a lot of those kids, you know, they're graduated. Some of them have their own children now, and every year I put them on my tree, and it becomes just a really special memory. So making an ornament and giving it to someone is a great gift. Great, great gift. All right. We're getting there, you guys. Sorry, I'm a little slow. This walking pneumonia has really just taken a toll on me. Feeling much better, but man, I have not been that ill in a lot of years. A lot of years. And I'm overlapping. It's coming over the edge of my paper, but I'm fine with that. We'll go ahead and we'll clean that all up when we start working with our masterboard. And these masterboards, they could be used for journal covers. They can be used for tags. Get some glue here. So one of my favorite tools that I got, and I cut it up, but if you have a Dollar Tree, the Dollar Tree has these adhesive, they're glue erasers. And I thought, oh, this thing is going to be terrible. It is wonderful. And I cut it in 4 because I like it smaller. It's easier for me to, but it just, when you get a little bit of glue over something, you just let it dry and then you just erase it. And it's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what else has everybody been up to? Anybody started any holiday baking yet? I know it's a little early, but some people start holiday baking early. I have not. I don't know if I'll do any holiday baking this year. It's going to be very odd without my mom. So I don't know if we'll do any holiday baking. And my daughter's getting older. My daughter and my niece used to do all the holiday baking with me, and they are just getting too old to, not too old, but they think they're too old to do that stuff. I did get some presents wrapped yesterday, though. I went ahead and wrapped some presents and all of that fun stuff. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Miss Penny, what are you up to? Are you still with us? I didn't do any cooking. I'm sure you all are just sitting there vegged out because you did all this hard work and cooking, and I didn't do any. You know what? I will be honest with you, though. It was actually kind of nice to not have to clean up. Normally, I do all the cooking, and then I do all the cleaning up, and most of you who know me know that I'm very OCD, and so my house has to be cleaned like perfectly. And so I spend all this time cleaning, and then I spend all this time cooking. Whoops. And then I don't really get to enjoy the holiday. And so this was really, as my students would say, low key, whatever that means. It was really low key this year, and I didn't have to do a whole lot. which was good because, like I said, I have been sick. I missed more days of work not last week, the week before, um, that I missed in my entire educational career. I missed 4 days. I was just sick in bed for 4 days. Um, the only other time I missed that kind of time is when I was caring for my mom, um, when she was passing away last year. Other than that, I don't miss work very often. And so even my students were sending emails, my staff was sending emails because they were extremely worried about me. Okay, we're almost done. Oh, let's put this one here. Almost done. Just a couple more spaces. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate those of you who are popping in. We're just making a master board, and then I think we might try to play around with it and do some different things. Please, if you're in here, please say hello. And if you wouldn't mind, please give me a thumbs up if you get a chance. If you have not had a chance to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I am really going to try. I'm not going to promise, but I'm trying really hard to get back on my channel more regularly. I really miss all of you, and my goal is to increase my subscribers for this year and to get my Etsy shop back open. So a couple of you have asked about my Etsy shop. When we moved, we closed the Etsy shop, and I'll be honest with you, the reason why it's not opened back up yet is because we still have stuff in storage. Living in a home for 22 years, it's a sure sign that we had way too much stuff. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But we also moved the two businesses with us, and we sold the one business. And the problem, we're in the process of building a storage. One of the things we downsized was garage space, and we thought we could do it. We thought it'd be okay. Well, it's not okay. We can't fit in what we have. So we're actually building another space because I don't want to have my stuff in a storage unit. That is, to me, it's not beneficial. I've not been able to do my live sales or get my Etsy store back going how I want it to. And so those are sort of some challenges we've faced. Okay. Hi, April. How are you? April, I'm going to be sending you another email. I must have something incorrect with your email because your invoice bounced back to me. So I apologize about that. And I've had walking pneumonia, so I haven't had a chance to reach out to you, but I have something wrong with your PayPal. Okay. So now that we have our master board, and then what we want to do is we can do a lot of things with this. You can take this and you can decoupage over it. And that was originally what I was going to do, is I was going to decoupage, and I love to just take a whole napkin and do a dry decoupage, and then you can make tags. But I think we should think about maybe making an ornament of some sort, since it's kind of Christmas time. So let me grab. Yeah, I think it's something I typed in wrong, April. I apologize. But I'll take care of that tonight, actually. Okay. So, let's see. What could we use? I have these ornaments, these paintable ornaments, and I was just going to use it as a template. And I thought, let's see how this looks. Now, you could use a cookie cutter, And I may still go run into my kitchen and get a cookie cutter. We'll see how this turns out. You can draw your own shape. Okay. So let's get my scissors. See what we got here. These are not my fussy cutting scissors, so bear with me, you guys. These are one of the scissors that I got as a gift last year. Okay. So one of the things, though, that I want to do before I cut this out is I feel like it's not going to be sturdy enough to be an ornament. So I want to back it with another piece of cardstock. So because I don't want this to get all wet, go ahead and use some score tape. So normally I would do this, you guys, if I wasn't on camera, I would glue it and then let it dry and then cut it. But because we're doing this together, I'm just going to use some score tape just because I want to give it a little bit more stability. And now you guys get to watch me struggle with getting the score tape off. Happy Thanksgiving! Past preservation. Please, I'm trying to, okay, you sound familiar. Past preservation. Have you been on my channel before? Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and we're almost done here. I thought it was you, Justin, but I didn't want to say that. What are you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Tell the kids and Cassie I said hi. So Justin is my nephew. And he does some really cool stuff, you guys. If you've not subscribed to his channel, subscribe to his channel. He started as a hobby redoing, and I'll probably get it wrong, Justin, so you'll have to help me out here. He redoes graves, cleans them up for people, especially veterans and people who don't have family in the area, in these broken, their headstones get broken and things like that. And so he and my great nieces and nephews, they go ahead and they do that, and he preserves amazing, just does a beautiful job. So if you're interested in that, check him out, because he does a lot of the work just for free out of the kindness of his heart, and just preserves people who deserve to have their headstones preserved. And it's just so cool. Yeah, restoration and repairs. Thanks, Justin. See, I'm blabbing, but all right. Oh, you're welcome. I love to watch your videos. He's on TikTok too, and he watches it. But I love to watch my niece and nephew help him. It's so fun that it's just going to be a family piece. That's one of the things about our businesses that we've owned all along, and my husband and I, is we always want to make sure that it becomes a family business. And so my daughters come along the way with all of our businesses, whether it's my Etsy shop, our long arm quilting business. We also have antique booths. And so she's a part of all of that. And I just think it's so important when a family does all of that together. So get a chance, check out his channel. And thanks, Justin, for popping in. super boring stuff for you. We're just doing a little crafting tonight. All right. So I went ahead and cut out this Christmas tree shape, and I'm noticing that it has some pieces that need to be glued down. See some of these pages? So just take your glue stick and glue them back down. And then I really think, I'm hoping, I don't know, but I think I might have some glitter in my drawer. Maybe. I do. I think we should glitter this up. All right. So we now have this. And if you wanted to make it, an ornament, or it is an ornament, you could do something to the back of it. I'm going to put my hole in the top. And these would be fun to make with your grandkids or your kids, just using up scrap papers. So let me lay it on this white piece so you guys can see it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to get some glue here. Now, I like the vintage ornaments. And if I had some silver glitter, which I do, but it's just not up here, I would grab some silver glitter. I'm just going to go ahead and put a gob of glue on here. And if I had wet glue, I probably would use that, like a tacky glue. And so all I'm going to do is dip my edges in this glue. Ooh. And yeah, this glue's not going to work. Okay, we're gonna do a second take. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab some different glue because that's going to be a disaster. The other thing you can do is you could use Mod Podge, which would be a great one. All right. We're going to just cheat because I have some of this silver glitter glue. Because once again, we've moved and I don't know where all of my stuff is yet. Okay. So all I'm going to do is edge this, and all of the vintage, oh, come on. All of the vintage ornaments, if you go back to the early 1900s, a lot of them were handmade. And a lot of them used hymnals, book pages. I love all the blown glass ones, but a lot of times there wasn't a lot of money to do that. So a lot of the ornaments and things were handmade. And so they would use hymnals and things like that to make their ornaments. So all I'm doing is going around the very edge here. And we're going to give it just a little itty bitty bit of sparkle and give it some of that vintage flair. How many people are going to get their Christmas trees tomorrow or this weekend? Anybody else doing that? That's always something that we do all the time. No? No, Penny? Yeah, we're going to go. I think we'll probably go. We normally go the day after Thanksgiving, but I don't think we'll do that this time. I think we'll go Saturday. We'll go to the Christmas tree farm. Oh, you have artificial now? I actually have 2 artificial trees up already. And then I'll have one. And then I'll have one real one. So I've already have 2 up. One in my dining room, and then I have one outside on my covered porch. You're not either, April? Do you have an artificial, or do you guys go at a different time? I know Justin, they usually go, because I usually see pictures of the kids at the farm. They take the kids to go cut down their tree. All right, I'm almost done here, you guys. Sorry. And I'll hold it up for you. There. It's probably hard to see, but so we've just made it a little bit vintage. We used to have real and didn't put it up till December. Oh, that's cool, Penny. Now, this could easily be a tag. It could be an ornament. That is super sweet. But you see, this is done. You love my tree, Penny? I love the tree too. I can't wait until it dries. It just has that vintage charm to it. Oh, look at my hands. Already a mess. You know, that's one thing, as I cannot craft without having an absolute and utter disaster. So you could do all kinds of shapes. Like we could do a stocking. I think I have a stocking shape. Let's see. Do an angel. You could do bells. Oh, here's a bell shape. Let's do some bells with a bow. So I have this bell-shaped one. So we could simply just do the same thing. Just trace it out. And here we are. Just doing something super, super simple. And you could add lace, you could add ribbon, you could add all kinds of things. I won't back this one just for the sake of you guys don't need to see me struggle with backing it. I'll back it later. But all I'm doing is cutting this out. You could paint these. That would be fun. But these could also be pockets in your journals. These would be super cute tags for your gifts. That wouldn't take a lot to do. You know, you could just make this. If you had a Cricut, you could just run that sheet into your Cricut or your Silhouette, and you could cut different shapes from Cricut Design Studio. In fact, I love that idea. I might do a lot more collaging tonight, and that would be so fun to have some vintage scrappy tags on my gifts this year. So there's a quick bell with a bow, and we can just put a little hole in the top of this one. Just like that. And we have this cute little ornament that would not take long at all. Once again, you know, you do want to make sure that all these little bits and bobs are glued down. So make sure you take your glue stick and glue those down. And you could draw out, like we could actually go in here and we could, let's paint the little bow on here. I think that would be fun. Let's do that. So I just grabbed some paint and I have a paintbrush here. Oops, this one's not open. How about we grab one that's open? And I don't need much paint at all. In fact, I need a little bit of water because I want to water this down just a smidge. Because I still want to see. Oh, come on. Until I haven't used the spray bottle much. Okay, so we're just going to grab a little bit of this and we're going to thin this out. And all I'm going to do is come in here and I'm just going to paint my bow. Just going to paint my bow. You can still see and then we're going to make some tails. Just like that. Super simple. You don't have to be perfect. And I'm making a dovetail, but you don't have to do a dovetail for your. All right, and so then if I want to darken it and give it some more shading, all I'm going to do is come in here because I definitely want this center part to be a little darker. And then I'm just going to go around my edges one more time. And because I lightened it with water, all I'm doing is just going over it again and giving it another layer. I'm not changing the paint color. I'm just going over it again. And that's the same thing that happens with watercolor. If you're working with watercolor, the more times you go over it, the darker it will get. And sometimes people aren't patient enough with watercolor and they wonder why they can't get shading with watercolor. But see, we just simply did that. And then you could come in and you could do something with the bell if you wanted to. You know, I could come in here. In fact, I might do that. Let's see here. Let's use some, ooh, if I can get the lid off of this. Let's use some 24 karat gold paint. You guys watch my channel, you know I love this paint. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Grab a baby wipe. And I'm just using a baby wipe to clean my brush because I'm not that particular about it. And what I'm thinking is actually, Let's do it over here because I think this is bigger. What I'm sketching out that you guys can't see is I'm sketching out the ringer of the bell. Okay, so we're going to grab some 24 karat gold. And I'm just going to come in here. And this paint is Deco Arts Metallics. It is amazing, but it's very thick. So a lot of people get nervous when they use this. It's kind of like a gilding and it's very thick. So just use it again in layers. I know you guys can't see that very well, but what I did is I just painted the little ball inside the bell. And we'll let that dry a minute. And while that's drying, what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see if I have let's see how this will, test this on a corner here, see how this will work. Oh yeah, so this is a silver paint pen. It's a metallic marker that I actually got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to use this to kind of go around. And then we can glitter it as well. It's another just easy way. You could use a marker. You could use a Sharpie. I'm just going to make a couple of extra lines on here just to just kind of going around the bow, giving it a little highlight. Hi, Yasina. How are you? Welcome, welcome. And I do have a gold one. Let's see if this will help darken this up a little bit. Oh, yeah, it will. So just super simple. Don't have to super, super simple. And then, of course, I would glitter this up, and you've now got another, ooh, well, not quite that much glitter, but I guess. Just go around the edges, easier with my finger. Go around those edges and glitter this up, and you've got another vintage inspired ornament or cute little journaling card to go in your journals. Could be a tag topper for a gift. You could do just about anything with that. So happy to see everybody on here. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We had a very quiet Thanksgiving, which was nice because usually it's me cooking. And I didn't have to cook this year, so that was great. There we go. See that glitter? And the great thing is, you guys, we're using up our supplies. There's nothing in here that you don't already have somewhere. We didn't use anything, maybe paint. If you're not a painter, maybe you don't have paint, get a marker. You can actually take Crayola markers. If you have those washable Crayola markers, you can actually use those, and you can scribble them on a piece of plastic, so like plastic wrap, or on a plastic baggie. Spray a little water, and you now have watercolor. So if you haven't done that, check that out because that's fun. And I'm just giving this bow a little bit of sparkle too. Just coming in here, giving it just a little bit, not much. And we did all of this with just paper scraps, you guys. Just paper scraps. So here it is, paper scraps. Here's our tree. I think those are super cute. And these would be adorable on the top of a gift. All right, so we're going to set these someplace to dry before I get glitter everywhere. All right, and then I think with the rest of that page, we're going to take it and we're going to do some dry. Now, if you don't have water at your desk, just take a baby wipe, clean off your brush as much as you can, and then just roll the tip in it and leave it on your desk until you're ready to go clean it up. That's why I use baby wipes all the time. They are, to me, a huge staple. I don't have water at my desk. I normally do. I don't right now. And so even with this, I just cleaned up my paint mess just like that. I didn't have to go run to a sink or do anything. All right. So let's use up the rest of this. Oh, you have a great weekend too, Luann. Just thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to get on a couple more times over the weekend. So I hope to see you soon. Have a great holiday. Okay. So the other thing that I love to do is I am not a big, I don't like the wet method of putting napkins on. That's just not my method. So I use a glue stick. And then usually what I'll do after that is I will sew. So if I'm doing a large piece like this, I like to work in sections. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. And then I'm going to smooth it out. And you can see, I know it's probably hard, but you can see the book page is still coming through. Oops, and I just ripped it, which is fine. So I am just using a cheap old glue stick for this. Now, you can use Mod Podge. You can use, sometimes I will use a watered down glue mixture, but that will leave sort of a thicker texture. It makes the top of your project not necessarily a matte finish, and I like the matte finish better. So I am just going to get this down as best as I can. Like I said, I will take these to my sewing machine later. So I am going to cover all of this because we're going to make even some smaller tags. I don't like to waste any. If I'm going to take the time to do the work, I don't like to waste any of it. All right. So all I'm doing, and we're having a little bit of an issue over here because I ripped. All right. And so now what I do is I just come in and I'll tear this. And normally I would have this, not have this part to worry about. Just tear the edges. And they're starting to rip off, so we'll just, and it's okay. I'm fine with that. All right. So let me clear off a few things while I'm letting this dry. And I don't know if you guys can see how beautiful that is, but you can see the paper peeking through, which I love that. And some of it I've ripped off, and that's okay. We'll just, you can leave it off, or you can just go right back over it and just collage over it again. All right, so we're going to clear ourselves some space. And we are going to make some tags. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is take my paper cutter, which I thought I brought in here. Maybe I didn't. Might have to use my other paper cutter. Let's see here. Oh, we can use this one. I thought I brought my little, oh, I did. Look at that. I put it away. What a concept. Okay. So what I do is I start by, and I'll tell you if you might have a little bit of trouble with this because it's still wet. Sometimes it's a little difficult. All right. So I like a 2.5 or 3-inch tag because I like to have lots of room for journaling. Let me see this here. I guess we can do a 3-inch. So we're going to do a 3-inch. So I've got a 3-inch strip. I have room to do a 2.5. So I'm going to do a 2.5. Actually, yeah, we're going to do a 2.5. So I've got a 3-inch strip. I've got a 2.5-inch strip. I'm going to turn this because I can make some journaling cards. So this is going to be roughly a 3x4. And I have this little piece, but we're going to keep it because I'm going to show you something to do with this. Then, let's see what I have here. It's almost a 3x4. Not quite, but we're going to make it work. So we're going to make another just little narrower journaling card. Oops, and she is not straight at all. Woo! Did not do a good job with that, you guys. Let's try this again. All right. Let's try this again. Okay. Well, that looks better. Okay. And then I want to use as much of this as I can and not waste anything. Okay. All right. So this is all the waste I have out of there. I think we did pretty good considering we cut out those weird shaped pieces. So I'm going to toss those, and now we're going to work with these. So here's the pieces we have. Oops, I do need this still. We're going to make some tags. So I lied. We're going to have a little bit more waste, not much though. Paper cutter must be dull. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to make this one 2.5 by 5. Make a nice long tag. And we're going to do this one. Take an inch off of this one. And you'll see why in a minute. We're going to use this little piece. Okay, so here's 2 tags. I'm going to cut this little bit of pink off that's showing. And all I'm going to do is cut this roughly in half. Okay. So we have 4 tags. We have a card. We have this piece. We have this piece, which we need to straighten these up. All right. Okay, so all we're going to do on these tags, we're going to do it super simple. I'm just going to cut the edges. And then I'm going to punch a hole. So those 2 are done. Now you can see there's some, it's popping up a little bit. This is over the edge a little bit, so I definitely need to trim those up. But those are 2 super simple tags. Same thing with this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just snip my corners. Now you can grab those and hold them up. I've been making tags long enough that I can get them pretty close. I don't worry about if they're not exactly perfect. All right, so there's 4 quick tags. We have our journal cards here. Here's a little mini one. Now with this mini one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a flag. So I just cut about a 1/2 inch up in the middle, and I'm going to reach that point. Reach that point. And we now have a page tab. So here's a tab for the top of your page. Super simple. And then I'll just leave this. This can be a pocket, so you can corner around those if you wanted to. These would make a really cool pocket. And I don't have my corner rounder right here handy, so I'm just doing it by hand. But this would be an adorable pocket. And then what I love to do is the same thing. So we're going to take this. I'm going to go up a 1/2 inch. I'm going to go right to the center. Right to the center. We're going to do the same thing on this one, except I'm going to go up a little bit higher. So we went probably almost an inch, probably 5/8 of an inch I went up, because I really want to have that flag. And then what I do is I just glue this with tacky glue right here. But before I do that, I think we should ink the edge of this. So I'm just going to grab my ink pad and we're just going to ink the edge of this. And we'll ink this too. And what you're going to end up with, oops, well, I didn't want that much ink, but we're going to go for it. I think it's time for some new 3-in-1 glue. Just adding some tacky glue to the top. We're going to put this right here like this. Hi, Debbie. And now what you have is this cute little tuck. So when you put it on a page, grab a journal here. When you put it on a page, you actually can tuck something here and you can tuck something here behind it if you want. So you've got a double tuck. So we didn't waste any of our masterboard. So I hope those ideas were helpful. You know, we didn't do anything that was super crazy or super exciting, but we just played around. You know, I felt like one of the things I love to do and that relaxes me is collage because it's kind of mindless work. And it's something that I'll often do in front of the TV. One of the things that stresses me out the most is all of the scraps and just being overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that I have. And these are fun. I mean, these can just be, you could slip a set of these into an envelope and send it to a friend for their journal. You could put these on gifts. You could write little notes on them and attach them to something. These would be great to attach to Secret Santa gifts. I mean, and I'm just inking the edges with just plain black ink. And look at how pretty. I mean, you could also glitter these up. You know, you could take and you could use your spray inks if you wanted to. I mean, there's a lot you could do. You could stamp over. But I mean, who wouldn't love this quick little set to put in their journal? And it's memory. So I could, if I put this in my journal, let's say that April made this for me. Every time I open my journal, I'm going to think, wow, that was April that sent me that. And I just loved that little tag set. And so just super fun, super cute, super easy. You know, out of one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, we made 4 tags, a journal card, 2 page tabs, a pocket, a bell, and a Christmas tree out of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I don't know how much easier it can get or how much cuter it can get. But, you know, I'm challenging you to use up what you have. What I hear so many of you say is, I have all this stuff. I don't need to buy any more stuff. Well, no, you don't. It's nice. Those of us that sell, we love when you buy stuff from us. But let's use it. Don't store it. Use it. Gail Agostinelli, that's why I love her. Like, she uses her stuff. I'm kind of like, I love paper. I've always loved paper. I've always loved, I like the feeling of it. I like the smell of it. I like, I love books. I love all that kind of stuff. And um, so for me, it's a treasure. And so it's hard sometimes to use that stuff because it's, to me, is like a treasure that I have. But it's okay. It's okay for us to use it. We don't want our children or somebody, my husband and I were talking. We love to go to estate sales. I don't know about how many of you like to go to estate sales, but we love to go to estate sales. And every time we leave, we always have the same discussion in the car. And my husband always says, their whole life is just sitting in there. And it's just sitting there for people to go through. And we talk about that all the time. So wouldn't it be way more fun for someone to go through journals or something that you put pictures in or something like that, rather than just mounds and mounds of papers that you've kept? Make it meaningful. Use the stuff up, and just make sure that whatever you do, you're doing something to make yourself happy. I love to collage. If you don't love to collage, don't collage. But for me, collaging is relaxing to me. Like I said, I don't have to be particular. I can talk to you guys. I can watch a movie. I can do just about anything. And just, how many of you have scrapbook paper that you have not used? Anybody have scrapbook paper? Raise your hand or say me if you have scrapbook paper that has been in your stash more than 5 years. More than 5 years. I want to know who has a piece of paper they could go in their stash right now and it's been in their stash more than 5 years. Raise your hand or say me. Penny says me. I definitely do. I can tell you right now I have paper that's been in my stash for 10 years. April's clapping, so she's definitely got some. I know we can't be the only 3 ladies. I know that. So it's time for us to use that. Why am I saving this bag of scraps? Oh, because I can use it. Well, you know what? When I'm done tonight, I'm throwing the rest of this bag out because I have mounds and mounds and mounds of paper and we need to use it up. So I challenge you between now and Sunday to make yourself a baggie of scraps and paper. Put some glue sticks somewhere, and I challenge you to use it up. Make some of these master boards, make some of these collage pages, whatever you want to call them. But let's get it out there and let's use it. This is like a piece of vellum. I don't know if this will glue down with a glue stick. We're going to try it. Oh, Debbie's got some too. I know we're not the only ones out there, you guys, and I'm sure whoever's watching the replay, they're like, yep, that's me. I have those too. We all have it. Let's use them. Let's use them. Please, let's not let someone else go through our stuff and go, oh, why did they store this for 20 years? Like, let's use it up. It's okay. It's okay. But let's get it. Let's use it. Let's make something. And let's challenge ourselves to do something with it and gift it before the new year. Do something with it and gift it before the new year. That's my challenge to you. So whether that means you're going to make something and send it to a friend, whether you're going to make Christmas tags, you can whitewash this. You can, so the other thing, if I can get this done, like you can whitewash this too, or green wash it or red wash it. You can just, like we did the watered paint, you can go right over that and you can make something that fits your style. But I challenge you, I'm going to pull that up just because you can see it and I don't want, I'm going to put this down first. Let's see if this will, just because that's authentic writing, someone's beautiful handwriting. And by the way, do you know children nowadays do not know how to write in cursive? It is so irritating to me as an educator that we don't teach that anymore. So in 20 years, I have no idea what signatures are going to look like. They're certainly not going to look like this one. I can tell you that. And this glue stick that I'm using is just a glue stick from the Dollar Tree. You can use any kind of glue stick for this kind of project, especially if you're going to sew on it. Because I tend to sew on them, I don't use a permanent, but if you're not going to sew, you might want to use a permanent glue stick. So who's going to take the challenge? I want to know, because I'm going to check in with you. I want to know who's going to take my challenge on. And then I want to see it. I want you guys to send me a picture. Message me on Facebook or send me an email with a picture. I want to see what y'all made. All right, we're getting there. This one's almost done. And look at my bag of papers. My bag of papers is almost done too. And you can use different textures. So I know it's probably hard to see, but this is glassine. That's some onion paper, onion skin typewriter paper. This is from a pattern. So this is kind of has a waxy, we're going to use this even though it's not, it's like a little lacy piece. I must have cut it off a printable somewhere. We'll add that there. We'll add that up there. Dun, 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 dun. Look, isn't that beautiful? That's some 1800s marble paper. You can do this with stamps if you have postage stamps. If you've collected a lot of postage stamps, sometimes I'll do that. You can use maps. So like I'm going to use this piece of map right here. But you can do all kinds of things. But I challenge you to get out that old paper, use it as your base, and start making beautiful things. Make some tags, make some ornaments, make some cards, make some pockets, make some snippet pieces. Just get it out and use it. Oh, you've never used onion paper? So onion paper is what they used to use to type on, Debbie. It's fun. It's kind of got like a glassine-ish feel to it. But if you find any like vintage things that have been typed on, that's the kind of paper they used to use. But definitely put together a little packet. I am going to be definitely watching some more Hallmark movies. I'm a Christmas Hallmark movie junkie. I love them. My husband is already irritated with all of them because we've been watching them since the moment they started. And so I'm going to be making master boards while I'm watching these movies this weekend because I am going to take on the challenge myself. The other thing I'm hoping to do, and I might jump on if I get a chance to do it, I'm hoping to do some jelly plating. I need some more jelly plate papers for some kits I'm going to be doing. So I love to do that and scan my jelly plate papers and Oh, I'm still missing a spot up here. But I think we're doing a pretty good job using up this baggie of stuff. Whoops. So I know this isn't super exciting, and I apologize if I'm boring you all. But I just wanted to jump on. I just wanted to just tell everybody happy Thanksgiving. Was hoping some people would join me, even if they were just mindlessly watching it because they ate so much food. Um, I just wanted to jump on and say hello and you know just play around a little bit. Anybody going Black Friday shopping tomorrow? I'm not. I'd rather be home crafting than that. Besides, I didn't really see anything that was like I had to have. Um, didn't seem like the ads were all that. You love Christmas movies? Yeah, I love Christmas movies too. There's a new Hallmark one tomorrow night. No, tomorrow's Friday. Saturday night. I can't wait to see that one. Oh, I didn't know that, Penny. Have a safe flight. Have a safe drive and a safe flight. Are you going to visit family, Penny? Hopefully your flight is on time and everything. I know a lot of people were struggling with flights. Oh, you're going to your great granddaughter's first birthday. How sweet. Oh. Well, I'm not shopping either because first of all, I really don't have the energy anymore. When my daughter was little and there were toys and things, like my husband and I would do it. But there's nothing I need that bad. And almost everything you can buy online now, which is sad. I bet. I'd be excited too. Oh, okay. So this is my daughter wasting paper in the printer and wasting color. And so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to collage this too. And I'm not throwing away this. Remember I said whatever's left I'm throwing away. So we're going to collage everything that I absolutely don't want to throw away out of here. Yeah, April, I'm just not into the crowds either. I don't know. Must be getting too old. Like I said, I'll never forget. Okay, so I'll tell you a quick Black Friday story and then I'll let you guys go because I'm probably boring you to death. And I'll just keep doing this. But okay, so my daughter was really into, I have no idea what year this would be, but probably, let's see, she's 17. So I'd say probably 12 years ago at least. It could have been longer than that. So my daughter loved Care Bears came out again. And of course, Care Bears were big when I was a kid. So she decided, yeah, I didn't either. She decided she wanted these Care Bears, and they were a Black Friday special. And of course, she's an only child and spoiled rotten. So her dad and I decided that, or she decided we were decided we were going to go. And my parents came down to have Thanksgiving with us. And so, of course, we left in the morning early, and my parents stayed with her. And so we go to Walmart, and like people are lined up. Like something I've never seen before. People were lined up. It was unbelievable. And so we get there, and I've got my cart. Well, little did I know, because I'm not a Black Friday shopper, like you don't get a cart, but okay. So I got my cart. I'm all set. We go. And you can't get to the stuff because if you've ever Black Friday shopped in Walmart, they put all of their stuff in a middle aisle. Well, they used to. They don't do this anymore. This is when people were like getting trampled on and stuff. They put all their stuff in a middle aisle. And so we're there and I'm like, this is dumb. So my husband goes after these Care Bears. I can't even get close. So he says, forget it. Don't go with the cart. Just I'll get them and I'll meet you up front. So I don't do well. I get very claustrophobic. So I don't do well in spaces like that. So he's like, you grab the pajamas, because there was also a really great deal on pajamas for little kids. And he's like, you grab the pajamas for all the nieces and nephews, and I'll get the Care Bears and I'll meet you up front. So I'm like, okay. So I get my stuff, I go up front and I get in line. And you guys, the lines I've never in my life seen such a disaster. Like they were so long. They were backed up like to the back of the store. So I'm in line and so I hear this guy behind me and he's like, oh my gosh, you should have seen this person who was back there by the toys, and he climbed up over everything and he stood on top of the thing and he started throwing out all the toys to everybody, and I just couldn't believe he climbed up on there and he just started throwing them to everybody. So anyway, my husband comes, he's got his Care Bears, and I'm still standing in line. And so this next guy comes up and he's like, and he's a couple people down. He's like, I cannot believe that guy was able to get me this. He just started throwing stuff out into the crowd. And so I'm still standing there. And so my husband leans over and he whispers in my ear, he goes, that guy they're talking about? I said, yeah. He goes, that was me. I said, what? He said, he climbed over and he got the Care Bears, and then people were yelling at him to give him to get them one. And so he said he just started throwing them into the crowd, but he couldn't get back because people kept coming forward. So he just threw all the Care Bears out into the crowd. So he was like he was a celebrity. I was so embarrassed. We had to hurry. I'm like, hurry up, let's go. I don't want anybody to see this. That the police are probably going to come and find you. So that was the last time I ever Black Friday shopped, especially with my husband. And it's a story we tell all the time because it was something that, the things we do for our children. And I'm sure you all have stories. I know when I was a kid, I wanted a Cabbage Patch, and my parents drove like 100 miles to the first closest Toys R Us to get me one. So, Debbie, I'm just putting a decent amount of the glue stick on there. And I'm just pressing it down real good. And then when I'm done, I will burnish it with my bone folder. But I don't usually have any issues with it sticking. It usually sticks pretty well. Oh, I know. People were taking things out of carts there too. Like I have never seen anything like it. That is just so silly to me. There's nothing I need bad enough to steal something out of somebody's cart. So, needless to say, I will be at home tomorrow. I might go out. There's a couple things at Home Depot that I wouldn't mind getting, but it's not like something I have to get. So, like when I get up, I might go there, but I'm not gonna like get up at 4 a.m. to go. There's nothing I'm that excited about. It is a little bit of a bummer though, because it is something my mom and I used to do back in the day when there was actually stuff. My mom loved to shop. Well, I hope you ladies take the challenge and you all get out your scraps this weekend. And if you're traveling, even if you're like Miss Penny and you're traveling, Miss Penny, you can pack yourself a little tiny bag to do on the plane. You don't need scissors, so if you don't have another project, this would be a great project to do on the plane. Just take a little baggie of paper and a glue stick. And you could have yourself some fun little collage sheets. Almost done, you guys, with this. I'm actually almost done with all my Christmas shopping this year. I did a lot of it through Amazon. Wrapped some gifts yesterday. Oh. Well, I don't blame her. I'm when my mom used to come and help me in my classroom too. So just remember, you have the plane. There's always time in the plane. Always time on the plane. I always pack a little crafting kit. In fact, you guys, I'm going to, hopefully, if everything goes well, a lot of you have seen it on my Facebook page, but I was accepted into the Gerstacker Fellowship, which is a very prestigious fellowship for educators in Michigan, where I live, and they only take 12 in the entire state each year. And so I was selected, which is super exciting. But one of the fun things about the fellowship is once we're done studying here in the U.S., we get to go overseas and we get to study overseas. And I'm supposed to be going to Germany and Finland. Now, if COVID's got to get a little bit better in order for us to travel this year. So I'm really praying. Oh, thank you. Oh, taking your tatting, Penny. Oh, I love tatting. I'm not talented enough to tat, but I love when people do tatting. All right, so there's another one. And this would be super cool with this to cut ornaments out of it, or you can fold these and make book covers if you want. And sometimes I'll just take my glue stick and go over the edges like this. It will dry clear, so it's fine. But you can do that as well. Like if you have, has different thicknesses of paper. So sometimes it's easier if you just go over the whole page with a very light coat of the glue stick. Oh, so are you going out tomorrow then, Debbie? I might have missed that. You are going out to Black Friday? Good luck to you. Anybody who's out there going for Black Friday, good luck to you. I give you a lot of credit. It's just not for me. Just not for me. All right. Well, I hope everybody has an amazing day tomorrow. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate each and every one of you that spent time with me today or that is watching the replay. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Please remain healthy and safe. I'm hoping that this walking pneumonia goes away soon for me. And I am going to be doing a live sale soon. I got to get, I don't know, maybe I'll look at my calendar, but I have to do one, you guys. I'm busting at the seams. And I have some really cool stuff that I've been saving for you all. And I missed the sale I was supposed to sell with Miss Penny. But I had the darn walking pneumonia, and I can hear my voice is starting to get a little froggy right now. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, holiday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your holiday, Miss Penny. Make sure you travel safely, hon. I'll talk to you as soon as you get back. Thank you for joining, and have a wonderful evening. I'm just going to put on a movie and keep doing some more collaging. Oh, cool, Penny. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye. I love you all. Big hugs.